Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen? We are going to begin on number 15 because there are so many people who are confused about that pivot table. So many people have been asking me. So it seems I taught it when people are tired. So let us begin there when it's on a fresh, when you are still fresh. My network may be unstable where I am, but we shall bear with the situation. So are we ready to go? Do you have your work with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going back to number 15. That is using an appropriate Excel function, make a summarized table for total cost of each city in the East. A summarized table. So that is what we are going to do. Okay, so we go to the East region, and that's where we need to make a summarized table. So there are two ways you can do it. You can use the SumIF function, which we saw. You can also use the pivot table. But I assume people know the SumIF function already. It also works. But now, we are just going to use the pivot table. So using the pivot table, I'll select the data. That's the first step, is to select the data which you want to create a pivot table for, which you need to summarize. Then I'll come to insert, pivot, then pivot table. So I have a question here, whether it should be in a new sheet or on an existing worksheet. So if I choose new sheet, it will go to a new sheet. If I choose existing worksheet, it will require a location where I need to put it. So let me choose this cell here, which is P. So I'm going to put it at P11. I'm not using a new existing sheet. Then I'll click OK. So when I get there, I am told to summarize the cities. So I'm going to select the cities. Then I'm going to drop the cities under the rows. Then we are also told to summarize the total cost. So I'm going to look for total cost. Now, if it is figures, you drop it under the summation of values. So when I close this, as you can see, I have been able to summarize. Any question? Many people have been asking me about that pivot table. I hope I've answered you, those who have been asking. So you can use a pivot table, or you can use a SumIF. It will give you the same answer. Can everybody use the SumIF to get this exact answer? Okay, I hope silence means yes. That was number 15. Number 16 says create a graph for the summary table above on the same sheet and style appropriate it. That one I not repeat it. I know everybody can do it now. Then number 17, copy the graph to the dashboard. Okay, let me create that graph. But we have already done that, a copy a graph to the dashboard. I just wanted to repeat a pivot table. We can leave that. Then filter out only Boston. We did that. Make a summarized table for total categories using the SumIF function. That one we did also. Do I need to repeat it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, number 19, you want me to repeat
Filter
it?
for number 17.
Number
18,
17. 18. Filter
18.
out. Filter
Filter
out
out only Boston. Yeah, that one.
only Boston City from the food sales.
Boston City. Yeah. Can you come again there?
Okay. So we come to food sales there. Then we are told to filter out only Boston City. So it means we have to go to city. We select a column for city. After selecting it, then we select the filter button here. We select a filter button. So after selecting a filter button, so we click on the drop-down arrow. We remove all the cities and we select Boston because the question says to filter out only Boston. Then we click OK. So as you can see now, I have only Boston. So it was saying filter out only Boston City from the food sales sheet and paste it to a new sheet called Boston with the purple color. So now we can successfully copy this data because this is only Boston now. So we can successfully select it, then we copy it, we go to a new sheet, we paste the data. I'm going to remove this by using the auto fit to column width. Then we have told this to call it Boston. And the color to give it is what? Which color? Purple. So we give it a purple color. Is it clear? Someone say my voice isn't clear.
Clear, yes. Clear,
I
yes.
think it is your network.
So you are very clear.
Okay.
You're very clear now.
So number 18 is now okay. Actually, there I was testing to see if people can use people now to use this filter button. That is what was being tested. Every number is testing you on a certain button. Okay. And these are the very buttons I'm going to test you on in the exam. So this number 18 required you to know how to use the filter button. As simple as that. The number 19, make a summarized table for categories using SumIF function and use it to make a pie chart. Copy and paste the pie chart to a dashboard and caption it with, hope by now everybody can use the SumIF, even if I don't repeat that.
Okay, you can use it.
Okay. Then number 20.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to number 20 for the position. Create a position column on the food sales sheet using an Excel function. Determine the first to the last one. Let's do that one. Okay, so we go to the food cell. I'm going to remove that, use the escape key, remove the marquee. Remember, we filtered it to Boston, okay? So we have to take it back to return all the cities. So I have to take it back to all cities now. Then I click OK. So all my cities are back. So we are being told in number 20 to create a position column. So we are going to create a position column. And then we are going to determine the position based on total cell, according to the question. So to create a position, we use what we call the rank function. The rank function. So we are going to say equals rank. Now, as you type rank, the function comes down there. You double click on it. So the computer is going to start guiding you. So it boards the number which you want to rank. So the number which you want to rank is this. We select it, which is J2. Then we put a comma. The moment we put a comma, we are requested for the reference. Now the reference is still where that number starts up to where it ends. The entire column is the reference. Okay? But remember, we need this to be fixed. It doesn't have to change. So it means you have to make it absolute reference. So it is going to be absolute by creating dollar signs. So I put dollar sign. You can use Shift-4 to create a dollar sign there. Shift-4 to create a dollar sign. So by doing that, I have fixed the range. So it doesn't change. Then we are going to put a comma. Now, the moment you put a comma, we are required to put whether ascending or descending. So we need descending. Descending means from the highest to lowest. Ascending means from lowest to highest. But this time we need from highest to lowest. So we are going to put 0 to mean descending. Then we shall close and shall press enter. Then we shall do our relative referencing now. So we are able to find the position of each. Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Kawuma, come again.
I repeat. Okay.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Let me repeat. So we are told to find a position. And finding the position, we use a function which is called rank function. So we shall say equals, then rank. As you start to type rank, the function comes. We just need rank. So we double click. Then the number to rank is this figure here. Then we do a comma. So the range from which we need to rank it. So this is the range from which we need to rank it. But this range must be fixed. We must make it absolute. So to fix it, remember, use the dollar signs. So I'm going to click on a number there. You can manually type the dollar signs, or you can use Shift and 4 on the key, Shift and F4. Shift and F4 on the keyboard to fix it. Then after you put a comma, then you are going to put a 0 to mean descending order from highest to lowest. If we need from lowest to highest, we use ascending, which is 1. But we are going to use 0. Then we close our bracket and we press enter. Then after, we shall do a relative referencing. Very simple things. Someone is first understand this before you ask whether it will be on YouTube channel and so on. First understand. Always I put my lectures on the YouTube channel. You don't need to ask that. I'm recording everything. Someone is saying is not seeing my screen. Does everybody not see my screen?
May I can see it.
Okay, so whoever is not
Maybe
seeing my screen, you can log out and log in again. So the rest can see it.
The screen is very clear.
Okay, so
the screen is
that is
okay.
position. Okay. Hope the position is now clear. But
Yes.
you'll go back slowly to your YouTube channel and verify.
I don't know what.
Then we go to number 21, which says, if all items categorized as crackers are given a discount of 5%, bars are given a discount of 4%, cookies 6%, snacks 7%, and the rest 0%. Create a column on food sales sheet for discount and use an Excel function to determine the discount to each. Okay. So we are required to create a column for discount. We are going to create a column for discount. And that column, we are going to use the if function. If function. So we are going to say equals if. So we double click the if function. And we are required to enter the logical test. So what are we testing? So we are testing the cell E2, which is category, okay? So we are saying if E2, I'm going slowly there because I need people to understand this. So if E2 is equal to, now when we look at our discounts, we have the first one is crackers, okay? The first one is crackers. So we are saying if E2 is equal to crackers, remember, if it is text, we put it in inverted commas. So if E2 is equal to crackers, remember the spelling must be exact, otherwise it will refuse. So if E2 is equal to crackers, that should be in inverted commas because it is a text. So if that value is true, comma, so if that value is true, then we are going to give a 5% discount. We are going to give a 5% discount on a 5% discount on total. Okay? Then, comma. Now, if that value is not correct, if it's not true, we are going to check another test. So we are going to have another if statement. Okay? So if that is not true, we'll create another if statement. Again, we are still checking E2. So if E2 is equal to, so the second, we have, if it is equal to bars, again, we are using the inverted commas. So if it is equal to bars, comma, so we are giving a discount, which is 4%, 4% off, again, 4% of J2. Okay, then comma. So if again it doesn't fall into that category, we look for another if statement. Another if statement. Again, our logical test is E2. So if E2 is equal to cookies, hope now people are following me very well. If E2 is equal to cookies, comma, then we are going to give a 6% discount. Again, we are still giving the discount on J2. Then comma. Again, we are going to write if. Again, we are still checking E2. If E2 is equal to snacks, okay, if it is equal to snacks, inverted commas, so comma, we are going to give a discount of 7%. But remember the discount still we are giving it on J2. Now the rest are given 0%. So the rest are given 0%, so we shall have 0% again times J2. Okay. Then the number of if statements you created are the number of times you close. So how many if statements do you have? How many do we have?
We have 4.
We have 4. So we close 4 times. We close 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then we press enter. Okay. So after doing that, then we do relative refreshing, and so you can see some have 0 discount, others I have been very slow, and I assume everybody has got this, even if I don't repeat it. Someone is saying you can't see my screen. I think the problem is on your side because the rest can see the screen. You log out and log in again. If you can't see the screen, log out, then you log in again. Okay. That is for discount. Then we go to number 22, which says create a supplier column on each food sale sheet. Sorry, create a supplier column on the food sales sheet using a VLookup function. Assign suppliers to each item using the data table below. Okay. And they say if the item has no supplier listed in the table below, it should return no supplier. So here they are testing us the VLookup function. We are tested on how to use the VLookup function. So we are going to create a supplier column. Okay. And we are going to type a table like this, which has been given. So we have been given that table. You type it somewhere on your screen. That table should be typed nearby on your screen. Okay. Then we start equals VLookup. So we double click the VLookup. So it says lookup value. So the lookup value, what do we want to look up for? We are looking up for the category. Okay, which is this. Then comma. Then the table array in which we are supposed to look it up for. So we select a table range in which we are looking up for. But remember, we must fix this table. If we don't fix it, it will keep changing. So we are going to do absolute reference on the table so that it doesn't change. I'm fixing it with the dollar signs. By now, everybody should know how to do it. So we are having from R15 to S19.
Yes.
Okay, according to mine is R15 up to S19. Okay. So after fixing it, then we are going to put a comma. So if it comes to this side and finds it, then it goes to column 2. So we pick column 2. And then comma. And then we need an exact match. So we are going to put a 0 to make it exact match. Then we close and we press enter. Okay, so we have the first one as Tesco stores. When we do relative referencing, you can see what we are having. Everything is given, but we are having something which is non-applicable. Okay. When you look inside the one which is non-applicable, actually, that is the whole meat, whole wheat, okay? We have which is non-applicable, which means it was not given a supplier. And according to our question, the one which has no supplier, we need to have the name no what? No supplier, okay? Okay, this one, crackers, I made a mistake here, okay? It should be crackers with a C, okay? At least I have reduced to non-applicable. You see, when the spelling is not correct, they will not work. Okay, so the crackers now are sorted, but we have another non-applicable here, which is chocolate chips. But when we look into our table, we don't have the chocolate what? Chips. So this one should reflect no supplier. Okay? Are we together? So
Yes.
I'm going to repeat, I'm going to now change this formula. I'm going to modify it. So let me first delete these ones which are pasted so that I modify my formula. Or even if I don't delete them, so I'm just going to modify the first formula here. And I'm going to include a function which is called if error. So the moment I put if, it comes. I double click. So if error, so when this VLookup doesn't get it, then comma, it should return no supplier. Should return no supplier. I'm putting it in inverted commas because it is text. Then I'll close. Okay. Then when I do my relative referencing, you can see very well. Let me expand this. You can see now I have no supplier in my table. Okay. So the no supplier now is coming. No supplier, no supplier, no supplier. Is it simple? Is it clear?
Yes.
Did you do it in your work?
No.
Yes, I've done it.
Okay. So let's proceed to another number. That one is copying and pasting. I'm not going to do that. Everybody can copy and paste now. Someone's telling me to repeat the no supplier. Okay. Let me do it afresh from here. Let me call this one supplier 2. So we shall use the function which is equals. So actually here I'm combining two functions. I'm combining the if error and the VLookup, and I'm combining them into one function. The if error and the VLookup. They are two functions. So I begin with the if error, but inside that if error, I'm going to create a VLookup. So I create a VLookup inside the if error. Okay? Are we together? So what we want to look up for is E2, comma, and the table from which you want to look it up is this table. But remember, the table has to be fixed. So I have to use the dollar signs to fix the table. Then I'm going to comma. So when it finds it, it picks what is at column 2, and it is an exact match. So the VLookup ends there. I close the VLookup. But remember, we are still inside the if error function. So I put a comma to end the VLookup. Then I include the no supplier. Okay. Then, so that is what we are having. Then we do relative referencing, and we are able to get it. I hope you can see no supplier, GM Ford, so and so on. Okay, let's go to number 20. We need to hurry up. It is the weekend. People need to go out. Someone is giving a big The boyfriend is waiting for her. Tell him to wait.
Maybe the boyfriend is available there.
The boyfriend is also is already there. Maybe you are the boyfriend. Maybe you are the one who is already there. Okay. I'm not going to do
Guys, be quiet.
I'm not going to do number 23 because that is copy and paste everybody can do. Let's go to number 24, which says, using an Excel function, count how many occurrences of both East and West regions using the table pasted on the dashboard. Okay, here I'm just going to teach you the count if function because that is what it requires you to use. For in your work, you'll do it, but I'm going to teach you how to use the count if function. Hope that is okay.
It's okay.
Okay, so let us do it. Let me reduce this. So I'm going to have a region here. I'm going to have East, they need East and West. Okay, two regions, East and West. And then I'm going to put occurrences. Just a minute, someone is calling me here. Just a minute, I'm going to get back.
Hello?
The guy is
Listen to
back.
some
You
music.
mute yourself.
That's
Mute
music.
yourself. The guy is back.
Why you remove your
I'm back,
music
I'm back.
now?
I'm back. That one was
What
finishing.
is wrong with the sound, you guys?
I'll
The
remove all
person
of you
play
in this group.
music.
I'll remove all of you.
Who has put for us music?
Some guy.
Commercial break.
Commercial break. Okay,
Man.
let us finish. My network had gone off. I'm using my phone for the network, and when they call, the network disappears. Okay, we have been going to the SumIF.
Sorry.
So this is occurrences. Okay, so We say equals.
I'm not seeing your screen.
You're not seeing my screen. Does everybody not see my screen?
We're not seeing the screen.
Okay, let me share again.
We are seeing the screen. And see your
Share
screen.
now.
Can you
We
see
are
it
not
now?
seeing your screen.
No.
No,
No, it's
No,
We are seeing it.
Okay.
the
now we are
screen is
seeing
back.
it.
Okay, so we need two regions. That is the East region and the West region. So we are going to use the count if. So we are going to say equals, then count.
there.
So count if. So the computer guides us. We need first of all the range. And remember the range is from the region. So we go to the region. Okay, we go to the region. So we get the range. Those are the regions we want you to count from these regions. That is the range. Then we put a comma. Then we look for the criteria which we want to count. So the criteria here is East. Then we close, and so East appears 27 times. And when we scroll down to the West, West appears 12 times and East appears 27 times. That is basically what the number wanted. And then thereafter, you are told to create a pie chart using an Excel function, then dashboard.
So I beg for your pardon.
Pardon on what?
So please repeat it again.
Please repeat.
Okay,
On
let
the
me
count
repeat.
if.
On the count if function.
Okay, let me repeat.
Thank you.
Actually, that is the simplest function. So we want to count how many times East appears and how many times West appears. Okay?
We just go on.
So we are
just
going
Yes.
to,
join.
it is equals.
You type these words.
Okay, let me repeat from where I started from. So we have a region and we have occurrences. So we need East and we need the West. So we want to know how many times East appears and how many times West appears. Okay? So we are going to say equals, then count. But remember, we need to count if. So the range, we go and we select the range from which we want to count. That is the region. So we select a range. Then we put a comma. So we choose the criteria which we want. The criteria is this, which is East. Then you close and you press enter. So East appears 27 times and West appears 12 times. As simple as that. If you want to create a pie chart, you just select, then you come to insert, then you come to pie charts. So you click on the pie chart. To move it to a dashboard, you just move it, you right click, then you go to move or you go to copy. Okay, right click, move chart. You can move it to a new sheet. Okay, then insert a watermark of Nkumba University logo. How do you insert a watermark? So
I think you can just insert a picture as a watermark.
Yes, you insert a picture, but you put it in the background.
Yes, put in the background the picture.
Okay, so I think basically those are the things that I wanted to go through, which I've been giving people at the time. For headers and footers, still you come to under insert, then you can have here text, then header and footer. So you can insert a header there, and you can also insert a footer down. You can also insert a footer down. That is headers and footers. You go back to your work. So there you have a header and footers are inserted, then you can go back to the normal work. Okay. Then printing. Printing is also simple. Just select what you want to print and what you select. Then when you come to print, you say print, then you choose this print settings, you print the selection. Okay, so that you'll be able to print only what you have selected. Okay. I think basically those are the things that I wanted to show you. Okay. I think now people can do the coursework very well and hand in. I am not doing everything for you. Otherwise, I would have done 100% for you. Now, practice that coursework as much as you can. Don't give it to Bachubas. There is a reason why I have done it for you. Okay? Someone is asking, is this database or Excel? My
It's
dear, it
okay,
is
sir.
Excel.
Thank you so much.
It is Excel, it's not
Yes, sir.
database.
Thank you very much. So much. This
Okay.
is so wonderful.
So, I have told you,
Thank you.
don't enter my exam when you have not practiced this coursework. If you don't want to regret and chase me on the compound. I'm
Yeah.
not wasting, I have not wasted time to go through it.
That is very good by this.
Someone said the word is enough to a wise person. Okay? Someone said a word is
Oh
a
my
word is a
God.
wise. A word is enough to a wise person, right?
Maybe it's not saying well.
Okay. I wish you well. You can go for your football, and those whom they are taking out, you can go.
You've just left
Excuse
the
me,
class.
guys. Did he really talk about how to change the work into PDF?
He didn't.